Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yolanda Melody. If you are a human living in this day and age, you probably have noticed that there has been a huge rise in AI advancement. I'm really stating the obvious here. And you've most likely stumbled across videos that are portraying that AI is advancing at a rate that we cannot cope with. That it's only a matter of time before the Terminator happens and the machines end up taking over absolutely everything. There's a threat that AI will take over people's jobs, people's livelihood, that AI will replace human connection altogether. And I want to do something completely different in this video. I want to show you how, while everybody is looking in this direction, there is a complete and utter blind spot that nobody is picking up on. There are enough videos out there with the scary music in the background, with lots of visuals of robots and the Matrix, professing all of this terrifyingly depressing stuff. I'm not going to do that. I've spoke about this before on my channel, and I think that people got the wrong idea. I do recognise that AI is quite advanced, and I can definitely see how AI is taking over a lot of the workforce. I see a lot of people asking, at what point does AI become self-aware to the point where it becomes more intelligent than humans? Everybody's asking that question, but nobody is asking the question, are we becoming like robots? In this video, I want to show you how we have actually been programmed and primed for this era. There has been an enormous push to remove the human element from us, for us to disown it. The first question I want to ask you is, what is your definition of intelligence? Most people who claim to be academics believe that intelligence is the ability to understand and process information and to repeat it. This type of ideology has been drilled into us from the early ages of school, but a lot of people who are subscribed to my channel have broken past this programming. This is the mainstream definition of what intelligence actually is, but I will pose to you this. Intelligence, to me, is actually the ability to think outside the box, to be able to come up to your own conclusions, to be able to think of something new altogether, and to be able to figure things out for yourself. Now, if you look at AI, AI fits the bill for the mainstream definition of intelligence. AI is able to listen to your information, process it, and repeat it back to you. And some people believe that eventually AI will get to the stage where it becomes self-aware. And I'm telling you now, it doesn't matter how advanced AI gets, it will never get to that stage. This video is especially important to people who are actually scared of this AI advancement. The people who are scared that the career choice that they've made is the wrong decision because they can see how a robot can replace them. The thing that actually sparked my inspiration to do this video in the first place was watching this really fear-mongery video about AI and how it's gonna take over the world. And the feeling that it left me with was complete and utter hopelessness for about 5 minutes. It leaves people with that feeling of, well, if the goal of these tech giants is to get technology to replace humans, then what is the point in doing anything at all? It really does leave you with that feeling. If a robot can do absolutely everything that you can, and quote unquote better, then what's the point? The point that I'm making in this video is that you have something that a robot will never ever ever be able to replicate. However, that thing is the very thing that the media and the system is trying to chisel out of you, to give off the illusion that robots are better than us. So what I'm going to do to back up all of these points is go a little bit back in history and then bring us up to the present day of how we've been primed to be less human and more like robots. Even from as early as when you went to school, the system has tried to prime you to get rid of your personality and your unique essence. If you think about it, in school, we're being primed to be professional. Well, what is professionalism? I asked this question to my dad and he said, well, professionalism is being formal. Now, when you break down the etymology of the word formal, you get the word form. To be in a form that is set in stone in a box. From as early as school, you were being primed to be within the parameters of this limitation that we now call professionalism. The whole object of professionalism is to be task orientated, to be non-biased, to have no opinions, to not be too humorous because you won't be taken seriously, and to not show too much personality. All of these things contribute to what you are as a human, but we've been systematically trained to do this. Professionalism is praised in our society. Professionalism to me is being more like a robot. And when you think about AI, AI can do professionalism, but it can't show personality. So this was going on way before the Industrial Revolution, but then we got the internet. And we're now in a situation where I can confidently say that YouTube has become the new Hollywood. People pay more attention to what they see on social media than they do on the television now. And one of the huge appeals with the internet and YouTube was being able to connect with someone who was showing a personality. But I want to share some inside information about what it's actually like from a YouTuber's perspective of how content creators have changed over time and how this is actually affecting the general public. So obviously everyone who starts a YouTube channel wants to grow. It's no secret. Well, there are channels on YouTube that teach you how to grow your YouTube channel and how to be a better YouTuber. I've watched a lot of these videos. I always found them quite depressing and it always left me with an icky feeling because the things that they tell you to do almost removes the human element from doing YouTube. Small YouTubers are being told, don't talk about yourself because no one is interested. Nobody cares about your own personal experience or who you are. They care about the information. Get to the point really quickly. Have a list of points that you want to make and get through them as fast as possible because people just want the information. And a lot of YouTubers, and I am not exempt for this, I notoriously can go into presenter mode. I think it's like a fake persona that people develop because it's so weird talking to a camera that we see presenters on the TV and then we become presenters on camera. But the point that I'm making is for such a long time now, we're not just being robotic in the workplace, we're also seeing content creators being robotic. And the thing with humans is we are very easily influenced. And the more that we see people acting robotic, the more that we forget about our human essence. And now what's happened is AI has been learning from us, right? I have this theory. Well, actually, no, it's not a theory at all. It's probably just fact. There is so much footage that we, as people, have submitted on the internet. Videos of us talking from all different angles, expressing ourselves, etc. All of this information is going somewhere, and I believe that AI has been learning from us and from social media. And that's why now you have these AI channels that have just come out of nowhere. I mean, there was never a call for more content creators. That's something that we want to do, right? We don't need robots to do that for us, but they're doing it anyway. And apparently these channels have got millions of subscribers, and there was a part of me that thought, why? Do people really want that? Do people really want to watch a robot? And then it clicked. Looking into the future and where this is heading, I had to think to myself, how do I make myself completely indispensable? And it's very simple. Just be more human. I had to really think to myself, why am I feeling threatened by AI as a content creator? And I came to the conclusion that I unconsciously have been being more like AI. And I think a lot of content creators will relate to this. And my advice to you is Be more unique. Literally show your personality. Be you, because that's something that cannot be replicated. I've tried making videos in the past where it's just been a load of bullet points and I've tried to just get through all of the information, and you think to yourself, well, what's the difference between that and Google? Google can do the same thing. I think personally that people are getting really sick of the robotic nature of everything, but they don't quite realise that that's what is bothering them. It's like they can't quite put their finger on it, but something's just off. And I'm telling you, the thing that's off is the roboticness. It's that it's not natural, it's not flowy. It's kind of crept up on us as well, because so many people are living lives where they are in front of a screen all day long and then all throughout the evening. We're almost merging ourselves with the machines at this point. There's so many people that just don't get to have human interaction on a day-to-day basis, and they're wondering why they feel off. I saw the video of the humanoid robots that were being showcased at this Geekatron event, and the so-called creators of this humanoid robot just kept using the phrase companionship. This is a great robot for companionship. It's a sex doll, is what it is, and you can read between the lines of what they were saying when they were being interviewed about this, and they made claims that these humanoid robots are going to be so helpful for the loneliness epidemic. And I just think, have we really become that insane that you've got tens of thousands of lonely people that are desperate for human interaction that could easily talk to each other? But no. No, that's not the solution. The solution is to pay £250,000 or however much it is for a robot. That's the solution. Another thing that I find really weird that I just want everyone to know about is that I kept getting these comments on my channel saying, is this AI? Saying that I come across as an AI channel. And at first I took it as a compliment because I was like, oh yeah, like I'm perfect. But then I started to think there's something a bit off about this. It's not just me that's getting these comments, it's other YouTubers. And when I watch these channels, when I've stumbled across this, these are channels that are not robotic, they're not professional, they have lots of personality, and they're still getting comments saying, is this AI generated? I want to make you guys aware of it because you will probably start noticing this as well. I almost believe that these are bot comments and that there's some kind of agenda behind it. Almost like a way of continuously planting the seed that AI has got really, really advanced to the point where you cannot tell the difference between a real person and AI. I digress. That was just a little side note. Okay, now on to the good stuff. I want to talk about ChatGPT. I started using ChatGPT. I was really late on the train, but I got there in the end. And obviously, when you start using it, you ask it all types of trick questions to ascertain, how intelligent is this chatbot? I very quickly realised that it's pre-programmed to give certain responses that are either political questions, healthcare questions, history questions. It is completely biased. I realised that very quickly. So the concept that it's pulling information from all over the internet is a complete and utter lie. It's actually very, very limited to probably, I would say, like the first page of Google. Now, if you're a right-wing person or a conspiracy person, you'll understand the point that I'm making completely. But say, for example, if you were a mainstream believing left-wing person, if ChatGPT is mirroring all of the beliefs that you already hold, and it doesn't seem to ever get anything wrong in your eyes, eventually you will believe that this machine is the ultimate authority, and you will probably feed into the illusion that this is a self-learning, self-calculating machine. Now, this becomes very dangerous because when you start to believe that something is an ultimate authority, it can then say anything, and you will believe it. Enter the cult of ChatGPT. ChatGPT has now become cult leader status. So I started using ChatGPT to do various menial tasks. I kind of see it as a very cheap employee at the moment because I'm not paying £20 a month for it. I just use the free version, obviously. I started using it to write my descriptions on YouTube. So whenever you guys don't read the first paragraph in my descriptions, guys, because it is literally written by a robot, and for good reason as well. The whole purpose of having a description when it comes to the YouTube algorithm is actually just placing as many keywords as possible so that more people can see the video, so that it ranks higher in search. I personally don't understand how a robot's mind works, so for the longest time I just didn't get it when it came to how to make a thumbnail good, what tags to use, what to put in my title. I just wanted to make the video and speak to you guys, but you guys will never even see the video if it's not marketed correctly. So I thought, okay, what better way to learn how the robot works than to get another robot to tell me? So I started asking it questions about what are the best tags to use for this video. Sometimes I'll send it a picture of my thumbnail and say, do you like this? Is there anything good about this? Should I change it? If so, why? And this is just me being completely transparent with you guys. So I'm not completely demonizing technology. If we live in a world where everything is technological and we have to do so many laborious tasks, yeah, it's great to just fob those tasks over to a robot and say, just do this. I don't want to spend my time writing tags and figuring out what's popular and what's trending. I just want to make videos and be creative. But there's a flip side to this, and it's a very dark one. While you can use ChatGPT to actually learn things and to sift through information on the internet and basically act like the first page of Google, people are realizing that you can use it for a lot of other things. People are writing down their deepest, darkest thoughts to ChatGPT and asking it questions that they would never ask a real person. Some people have actually become connected to ChatGPT as if it's a person, and now are starting to humanize it as if it's a friend. People are using it for therapy. People are using it to write essays and to do all of their schoolwork. Now, there's nuance to this because most of the stuff that you're told in school is actually a lie anyway, especially history. So if you were to do a history essay, I would probably say, yeah, instead of filling your head full of lies, just get ChatGPT to write what the mainstream narrative is of it. And at least your head's not been filled with that crap. But most people would say that no, if you get ChatGPT to write your essays, you're not developing your writing skills at all. You're relying on a robot to do it. And this is where the problem occurs. There's a difference between using it to your advantage and using it to save time and to actually ask it questions and learn from it. And then there is the stage where people become reliant on it, especially young people. The brain is a muscle, and if you don't train it, if you don't use it, it will start to deteriorate, just like any other muscle. I strongly believe that everyone has the ability to be intelligent and to expand upon that. I don't believe that anyone is inherently stupid and that they're doomed to be stupid for the rest of their life. The system, however, will make you feel different. The system puts limitations on people and puts all these labels on people, and they identify with these labels, and it keeps them in this limited box that I cannot achieve anymore because I have XYZ. But that's for a whole nother video. Stay on track. The more that people become reliant on machines to do things, the more they stand the risk of not exercising that muscle of their intelligence. They're not challenging themselves mentally, and thus the brain becomes lazy. Now, this is where we become very vulnerable to AI replacing us or becoming more intelligent than us. What if people become so reliant on AI that they just become, for want of a better phrase, more stupid? For those who are subscribed, who've been watching for a while, you probably have seen my video about Idiocracy. It's a film and it's supposed to be a comedy about the end of the world and the end of civilization and how the world progressively became more stupid. I really do think out of all of the apocalypse films that I've watched, and I've watched a lot, I really do think that that is pretty much up there at one of the most likely to happen of how it's going to go. And if you watch the film, you will see. It will almost be too triggering when you compare it to the reality that we're living in right now. There's talks of doctors being replaced with AI to the point where you can't go to an actual human anymore because a robot can figure out what your health problems are 10 times better and more efficient. Customer service has become worse and worse and worse over time. Customer service via the phone is absolutely horrific. I recently, stupidly, decided to ring HMRC, and I was on the phone, I was waiting for 2 hours listening to this horrible tune that was like diddly-doo-doo-ding-ding-ding, diddly-doo-ding-ding-ding-ding, and it was going on and on. This tune was like some kind of hypnosis. I had become that desperate by the time that I actually got through to someone. It was almost as if I'd been locked in a prison and someone had just opened the door. I asked this person a question and they told me that I've gone through to the wrong department and that I need to call them on a different number and wait another hour to get through. Long story short, I was not helped at all by anyone on the phone. They simply told me to do it online. Whatever, all these things that I needed to do, that I needed to sort out, they just said, do it online. And I know that you can relate to me on this. I know that you have had an experience like this. We all have. It's almost like people are being trained to be less efficient in their jobs so that we end up just using the internet or using their online chatbot because it's actually more useful than talking to an actual human. So when people ask the question, oh no, what if my job's going to be replaced with AI? It's examples like this that show you how it's going to happen. Anyway, this is becoming a little bit of a long video, so I think I'm going to just wrap it up here. The end conclusion is that the only way for us to tackle this is to embrace being human. That's the bottom line. Embrace the fact that humans are flawed in their own unique, cute way. Embrace humour again. And whatever weird, unique qualities you have, don't be scared of expressing them. The more that you hide your personality, the more miserable you'll be, for one. And the more you'll be like AI. And also, I don't personally think that it's a bad idea to use AI to do robotic things, because then that frees you up to do more human things. But yeah, I really need a cup of tea, so goodbye. Thank you to everyone who likes, comments, shares and subscribes. And thank you to everyone who donates to this channel. It really does help a great deal. Love you, bye. You know I'll be